Lingqing Gan from electrical engineering will talk about discovering hidden networks. Who is influencing who?
Have you ever thought about how our brains think? Brain is consisted of neurons. Here we have an illustration of 3 neurons. We can see that each of them has a core and has several branches poking out, connecting them to other neurons. And the neurons whose branches are touching each other are neighbors in the brain. These branches act like antennas. When talking to each other, a neuron sends out an electrical pulse to its neighbors through these antennas. And then the neurons that receive the pulse will pass it on to its own neighbors. And this is at a tiny scale how our brains think. You might ask, this seems just way too simple to do anything complicated. And that's right. But let me tell you, there exist 100 billion neurons in our brain. With all these neurons acting like this together, they become capable of really complex tasks. And that is how they enable us to perform the complex tasks that we can do every day. So think about this. If we can find out how the neurons are connected, we might be able to understand how our brains think. Sadly, with today's science, we're not able to find out how neurons are connected unless we physically open our brain. Of course, you don't want to do that, but luckily, we can detect the pulses that comes from the neurons, from single neurons. And here is where my research comes in. I created a mathematical model that processes the pulses and generate a network of how these neurons are connected. For each pair of neurons, I can find out how likely that one is influencing the other or the other way around. And combining all the pairwise results, we can guess the entire network without opening our brain. Let's think about more than just neurons. The model takes in information from members of a network and estimates how they're connected. So we can apply the model to other things. For example, we can look at the trends of the individual stocks and find out how the stocks are influencing each other. And because the way genes influence each other can also be seen as a network, we can apply my model to understand genes better too. When a network cannot be seen, we are able to find it out. Thank you.